Hi guys, and welcome to episode 3 of the van build. I just thought I'd give you a quick update this week on progress and where we're at. A few things that have been done, a few things still to do, and some work in progress. So as you can see, the ply lining, after much effort, has been removed from both sides, and the rear doors and the panels, and just on the inside of the main door. If you can see that has all been removed. I'll just give you a shot from the rear as well. So yeah, as you can see, all removed. It was quite painful. I thought it was going to be relatively easy. The screws didn't look too bad, but the whoever had fitted the ply lining basically had put the very soft alloy screws in, and they'd used some kind of air gun or a drill with a setting that was way too high, and it just pretty much had stripped all the heads off. As you can see, the floor is still in at the moment. The ply line floor is still in, and the reason for that again is because it has been an absolute nightmare to take up. I think there's about 20 screws in it, and it's been screwed directly to the bottom of the van, so they've actually rusted through, and many of them, a good 60% are actually stuck. So I'm actually having to drill these out. So here's a really good example. So that's just completely, I've had a go at that with the drill. That one I've already actually successfully drilled out, and the same with these two over here. I've probably got about another 7 or 8 to do, but as you can see, I've got stuff in the van at the moment, some materials. So that's where we are. So that's been taken off. Now, as far as insulation is concerned, so as you can see up here, I've got some effectively some of this. I don't know if you can see it. It's recycled plastic insulation. It's no itch. Let's see if I can get some out there. It's kind of like a fluffy. Yeah, it looks very similar to the glass fibre stuff, but it is non-itch. I've got there. How much I've got there, 8 meters. So what I'm going to do is, obviously that will be packed into all of the areas like this, and obviously inside the footwells, and the dark there, that's oil that they've used to coat, and that goes pretty much through all of the recesses, which is good, because that means obviously it's well rust proofed. Again, over here I shall fill in all of the gaps, and you'll see that I've got my kind of an old drawer that I've reclaimed, which I'm actually using that because I've been actually using the van for weekend trips with my mountain bike, and just literally putting a blow up lilo in the back with a sleeping bag and a duvet, and I've got some cooking stuff in there, basically just a frying pan, a single gas boiler, and I've got a small kind of gas heater. Again, going back to the insulation, up on the ribs as well, up here, plenty of spaces to put that insulation. Now, for the main insulation itself, I've got on order some butyl panels. I think they're about 200 millimeters by 150 millimeters, and I will be putting those on all of the panels. The bulkhead, as you see, is still in, so that will need to come out. Again, I've had some problems with that. That's not quite as easy as it looks. It's actually in three pieces, and I unscrewed all the screws from the bottom ones, and it's not moving. I suspect somewhere there's some spot welds, so I may have to remove the front seats just to see if I can see where they've spot welded them in, so I can just drill through those to get that out. So from a main insulation perspective, I'm going to put the deadening boards, the butyl deadening boards on. Probably go for maybe 2 or 3 of those per panel. And again, on the rear doors, as you can see, the rear doors are quite deep, and I will put some on the roof if I keep the roof. So the big kind of decision point at the moment is whether I keep the roof, or whether I actually do take the plunge and go for the top, and I'm 50-50 at the moment, pros and cons in equal measure. So once the acoustic deadening pads are in, I've got those on order, so they should be in later this week, so hopefully I can get those in over the weekend. And I've also got 25mm boards of Celotex also on order. There was nowhere locally that had them in stock. They had 50mm which is okay for the big pieces, and I may just make a start and get a board or two and fill in some of the bigger places. But I've got only some 25 mil. If I do put them on the roof, 25 mil will have to be enough, because it's just not deep enough for a 50 mil, and I don't want to take out too much space on the roof. Again, so that will be filling all the panels, like the door panels, all in with Celotex. And when that's done, I'm going to, as you can see here, I've got some Reflectix type thermal. That's a double bubble wrapped aluminium thermal, which I will go over all of the panels with. And my aim there is that I will have an air gap, go over the top of the Celotex, and I will have an air gap so that when I put the ply lining back on, there'll be enough of an air gap for the kind of the Reflectix material to do its job and reflect heat back in, and obviously also act as a dual purpose as a vapor barrier. Now for the floor, my thoughts on that are that I don't want to take up obviously too much space, lose too much height, because this is not a big van at all. I'm 5'10" and I have to sort of crouch down in it. If I get the pop top, that's going to be not too much of an issue. So what I've done, I will batten it out with probably no, from the floor perspective, batten. I'm going to put in the 25 mil battening with, as I said, some 0.3 or 0.5 millimeter very lightweight XPS, which is the real compressed foam, and then I'll put the Reflectix layer over the top again, the same as everywhere else, to provide the moisture barrier. As you can see, I've got some other stuff in the back here. So this is basically some wood for the bed, which I'm going to obviously have down the right hand side, and the unit that I'm going to build up at the top of the van there, which will act as part of the bed, but an L-shaped kind of couch arrangement, and that would also house the electrics and the battery, which is a slight change to my original design. And the Propex heater will go in the top end of the bed on that side. So this is basically, I've got some fairly, it's not massive. I think that's 40 mil by 30 mil, and then I've got some smaller sort of battening wood for supports. I'm probably going to make the cabinet first at the top end there, just to see how that fits and make sure that I can kind of do it's almost like the same design as the bed, but on a mini scale, to be honest. So that's next up over the next couple of weeks. So that's really where we are. Bit of progress on the van, got some materials, got the Reflectix, got the insulation, the acoustic deadening boards on order, and the Celotex on order, which I'm hoping to get by the end of the week. And then obviously by then I'm also hoping to have drilled out the rest of the screws on this floor and get the floor up. The floor actually is not in great condition in actual fact, so it may be that I take the top panel and maybe this side panel, because it's actually in 3 pieces, and the big central piece I may, depending on what it looks like by the time I've drilled out all the screws, I may actually replace that. So that's where we currently are on the van build. So a bit of progress. Obviously in between everything else that's going on in my day-to-day life. Now I do appreciate all you guys that are watching, you know, and I've got, I think, 13 or 14 subscribers, and I'm really grateful for that. And I know it's not a lot, but I'm grateful that you guys are watching it, and hopefully as I do these videos I'll get better at them. And but please comment, and if you want additional detail, again, please comment, and I'm more than happy to answer it. And I'm grateful for you subscribing and taking the time to watch them. And also, I just thought I'd mention that this is my first foray into sort of filming stuff for YouTube. So again, you're going to have to bear with me. I'm doing this on a phone. I've got no support. It's just me and my hands, and sometimes doing more things one-handed is quite difficult. But I will be upgrading to a reasonable camera with a tripod, and hopefully we'll get some better quality, not so shaky, and video quality footage. So I do appreciate you guys watching me sort of fling the phone around all over the place, and but I'm working on it, and hopefully we'll as I go along the videos will get better. Okay, speak to you again soon. Bye now.